Relying on the science is good, so let me ask you. The standard that's generally in existence, not generally, the way we do things in this country and in New York State with regard to any given chemical or other substance is, if it's found to be a problem, really found to be a problem, maybe we'll ban it. Why shouldn't we shift to a standard that says before you can use it, you have to prove that it's safe?
That's the precautionary principle.
Exactly.
And the issue with the precautionary principle is that if you take it to its logical conclusion, you would never be able to prove with certainty, because you can't get to absolute zero, that is basic chemistry, that anything is perfectly safe. That's why we think our system is better, because there is risk inherent in everything we do from the moment we get up in the morning until we go to bed, and everything in between. There is some risk. It's called acceptable risk. Every time I fly to one of my other state capitals, I am accepting the risk that that plane can crash. But that is acceptable. Do we ban flying because we know planes can crash? I think the same principle has to apply, and that's why we think that our system is actually better than the precautionary principle. The second issue that we would have with the precautionary principle is it does hinder innovation, because innovation requires creativity, and creativity is stifled if you know that you can't prove something to be 100% or absolute zero. Does that answer your question?
Well, I understand what you're saying, but why don't we, you could seek the same level of certainty in a precautionary principle that you assert exists now to promote the use of a product. And I would suggest that when you get on that airplane and make a trip, you probably feel a little bit better, whether you would want to admit it or not, knowing or understanding that there's a lot of people in the private sector and in government who are out there doing the best to make sure that that plane is put together properly and that all of the other precautions that are necessary, and the air traffic controllers are doing their job. And I think that there are probably a lot of parents who buy products making a similar assumption about those products. And probably not even having a good understanding of what may be in those products when they buy something for their child. And I believe that if parents had a little better understanding of the lack of effort that goes into, on the part of the government, let's say, I won't blame you guys, the lack of effort that goes into proving that when you go into a store and buy children's clothes or a car seat or whatever else, that there is not a very rigorous standard that exists for ensuring that everything that has gone into that product isn't going to harm that kid, then I think that there would be an awful lot more concern on the part of the general public in this country.